Mr. President, let me take this opportunity to extend my congratulations on your re-election to a new term as President of Syria.
That's Ronald Reagan congratulating Hafez al-Assad on his so-called re-election in 1985. And with us now to talk about the newly released Reagan audio tapes, historian Julian Zelizer of Princeton University. First, the obvious here, Julian. Did this surprise you to learn that Ronald Reagan was recording some of these phone calls in secret? And I do want to be clear that these were recordings done through the Situation Room switchboard, and we're told that it's to maintain some sort of accuracy or record. But were you surprised by that?
It is a surprise. We have recordings of John F. Kennedy, of Lyndon Johnson, and of Richard Nixon, but we thought after Richard Nixon we wouldn't have more recordings, famously ending during the Watergate hearings. So this was fresh material, and it was something I was not familiar, and to hear inside the White House is something we don't have post-Richard Nixon until now.
I want to listen to Ronald Reagan and British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. This is October of 1983. This is hours after Reagan, without telling his ally, Margaret Thatcher, that he had ordered troops into Grenada to quash a Marxist coup. Let's listen.
We think we want to put them kind of out ahead in helping in the restoration of a government, so there'll be no taint of big old Uncle Sam trying to impose a government on them.
Well, there's a lot of work to do yet, Ron, still, isn't there?
Oh, yes. Yeah, and
it'll be very tricky.
We think that the military part of it is going to end very shortly. But as I say, I'm sorry for any embarrassment we caused you, but please understand it was just our fear of our own weakness over here with regard to secrecy.
It's very kind of you to have rung, Ron.
Well, my pleasure.
Appreciate it. How is Nancy?
Just fine.
Good. Give her my love.
I shall. All right.
Thank you very much. I must return to this debate in the House. It's a bit tricky.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Go get him. Eat him alive.
Goodbye.
All right, bye.
So, Julian, pleasantries there at the end of the conversation, but Ronald Reagan really is apologizing to Margaret Thatcher. Why is he, I guess, expressing so much humility over what happened?
Well, it's a really interesting tape. Thatcher is one of his closest allies and a partner in the conservative revolution of the 1980s. She's upset that she didn't know about the invasion of Grenada that happens, and he's trying to say this wasn't about keeping her out of the loop. It's about the problems he's having here in the U.S., and this sounds familiar, with controlling leaks and controlling secrecy. So he needs her as an ally during this period. It's a critical moment in the Cold War and in policy towards Central America, and he's trying to win her support back, which he will.
Yeah, in the beginning, she's sort of curt with him because she's ticked off, you can tell, but she kind of warms to him throughout the call. It is really fascinating. He also negotiates for hostages in these recordings. This is Ronald Reagan in June of 1985. He's urging Pakistan's leaders to use the leader of Pakistan to use his contacts with Middle East terrorists to persuade them to free the passengers on a hijacked TWA airliner. Let's listen.
Well, we must do that in a way that does not make the hijackers think that they have won their goal, because I think we just see more hijackings then and more terrorism. But we believe that if they will return ours, and then I think the Israelis are prepared to also deliver theirs, but not make it a kind of ransom at the moment.
Okay, so if he's negotiating, why does it kind of sound like he's not really negotiating for the release of the hostages?
Well, this was an important part of Reagan's secret policies, which becomes part of Iran-Contra. He's trying to secure the release of hostages which are taken in the mid-1980s. He's very frustrated that he can't get them released. So he starts to negotiate with allies and even with adversaries like Iran. But he doesn't want to say he's negotiating for the release of hostages, because this goes against his policies never to negotiate with terrorists. So he'll say this, but in effect what he's doing is negotiating some kind of deals through third parties for the release of hostages. But he's trying to be clear on that because it contradicts his public policy.